Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Patrice and today we will be diving into a whole bunch of rhinestones. We are going to be uploading a new rhinestone file into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to be showing you all how you need to upload this so that it can cut correctly for you with use with your Cricut. And we have access to the Baby's Booty's newest collection of rhinestones that she will be offering in her next buy-in. So let's get started. I am super excited about this one. Before we head into Cricut, we're just going to take a brief stop into Silhouette Studio, and this is the business edition. So here's the file that we will be using today, and this part is the most important part as far as making sure your rhinestones cut out to the correct size. This design is an SS10, so whenever you purchase designs online, make sure that you note the size of the stone that you'll be using, because once you know the stone size and once you know the measurements, you cannot change that. So here we have this measuring at 9.063 inches high by 11.617 inches wide. When you import this into Cricut or into any design software, you want to make sure that those measurements matches whatever the designer set the dimensions to be. If you fail to do this step, your design will not cut correctly and your hole sizes will be either too large or too small. So you always want to make sure that the entire design before we separate this, because this design is going to be a few different layers or colors. So you want to make sure before you separate it into your software, you want to make sure that you measure the entire design put together as it is intended to look on your shirt or whatever you're going to be placing it on. Now we're inside of Cricut Design Space and we have a blank canvas to work with. All we need to do is upload, and so we're going to select upload. We will then select upload image, browse, and we will select the file that we will be using today. So we will be using the Bling has Bling ombre version of the file. It is an SS10, and inside of all of my file names and most file names that I find when using rhinestones, the size is listed there. So let's select it, and everything looks great. So we're going to upload, and now we will add that to our canvas. So our design has uploaded, and y'all, it came over as the correct size. And you want to pay attention to your dimensions. So the size says that the width is 11.617 and the height is 9.063. That is what we sized it as you see, the entire design is selected. Now, let's say that this did not come over as the correct size and we make it a little bit smaller, right? What you want to do is, because sometimes this is how it will come over. What you will need to do is, before touching anything, do not ungroup it, do not separate it. Before you do anything, you want to select the lock proportions button or tab and make sure that it's locked. Right now, it's showing that it is unlocked, but we are going to click it and lock it. Okay? Once you click it and lock it, then you are going to enter the dimensions of the width. Okay? And that width is 11.617. Once we select or once we input the correct width of the file, because we locked the proportions, the height should adjust correctly to 9.063. And we're going to tab over, tab, and there we have it. We did not have to change anything in the height because the width, once the width is selected, and if you have that proportions button locked, it will automatically pick up the correct dimensions for the height. All right. So now that we have everything all set and it's measuring correctly, we need to go ahead and ungroup this file. So we're going to right click and select ungroup. You can also ungroup over here in the layers panel. And so we are going to just ungroup this based off of how it is going to cut. And so we have, this will be our first layer, which is the outline. And then we have, I separated this so that we don't waste flock. And I also recommend before cutting any flock, give yourself a test cut. Make sure that you test it out and see exactly how it's going to cut. So I've separated all of the different colors and layers, and as you'll see, we have a lot going on with this file. So I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. But if you want, you can place a box around each of the different layers and have it cut out your template for you that way. I don't necessarily do that, but to do that, you do it somewhat like this. And when you cut out your template, it will cut out the words, and then it will also cut out a box around it. Now you can, of course, adjust the size of the box because you don't want to really waste any of that flock. And you would just size it around your design, and your machine will cut that square out so that you can have a stencil. We're going to have a stencil, but this is a more organized type of stencil. All right. So that also helps, especially when you have designs like this. And if you want to get everything kind of cut close together, you don't want to cut the wrong parts of your design. We will not be using the box today, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And now what I am going to do is I'm just going to make all of this the same color, because it's no need for it to give me all of these different matte colors because it's going to be one color. So let's go ahead. We will make it like this blush color, blush pink, and we are going to select Make It. We will be using a matte today, and you always want to make sure that you remember to do your test cut when you're cutting, but also I will show you all the settings that I use for my designs. So as you see, all of this will fit on a 12 by 24 mat. So I'm going to go ahead and just place this on a 12 by 24 mat because it all fits, and I do like that. So now we're going to click continue, and the machine that we will be using today will be the Cricut Maker 3, and we are going to be using the rhinestone flock material, and this is a material that I added myself to the Cricut Maker 3. And to add the material, all you're going to do is select Browse Materials, then select Material Settings. Once you get to Material Settings, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. At the bottom, you will have the option to add a new material. Once you click Add New Material, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Typically, mine is called Rhinestone Flock, but we'll say Bling Flock for today. Once you do that, you're going to select Save, Bling Flock. Okay. Click Save, and it's going to scroll you all the way back up to where it falls alphabetically, and then you will need to adjust your pressure there. And once you do that, you're just going to slide the pressure bar over to about 340 or 350, and then you will click Save. You're going to leave it at a fine point blade, and it's just going to be one pass. So let's go ahead and select Save. Now that you have it saved, here is your new material, right? And so you can go ahead and X out of there, and then once you get ready, you can select your material. Now we're going to select Rhinestone Flock, and we will head over to our Cricut Maker. Okay, y'all, so now we're at the Cricut, and this is the material that we will be using. This is rhinestone flock, or it's known as rocket flock, and I get this from Heat Transfer Warehouse, and we are just going to be placing it onto a 12 by 24 inch mat. So just like with regular vinyl or anything, you're just going to match it up correctly, and this is looking good. I am going to take the brayer and just make sure that it's down there really good. We left the backing on. We want to see how the machine is going to cut this today. So we're just braying it down. Okay, so we're all done cutting the flock, and that took about an hour and 10 minutes to do. Now we are going to remove the backing from the flock, and hopefully the dots cut all the way through. That was my test piece, and that cut out perfectly, so I went ahead with the cut. All right, so it looks pretty good. A lot of those dots are staying onto the backing. However, there are dots that remained on the flock, and we will need to manually remove those. Now I'm going to cut out each part of the template so that I can place it onto the cutting mat, and it will be easier for me to brush those stones in that way. And so just to remove the extra dots, I kind of just did it by hand, and that worked fine. Okay, y'all, so we're all done with cutting out our template, and I placed it on these cutting mats from the Dollar Tree to come in a pack. And I usually just flip it on the other side and put the other portion of the template on there to kind of keep everything in one place. But before we start brushing in our stones, I want to show you all something special. So the Baby's Booty and Miss McQuackins sent me a few of their newest colors that they will be providing in the next buy-in. For those of you who may not know, a buy-in is where a few of us come together, and sometimes a lot of us come together and place one huge order from a manufacturer in order to get the best rates. And for the Baby's Booty Rhinestones, she is the one who orchestrates it all. And once the stones are here in the United States, she then sends them to us. She has this buy-in once per month, and a link will be listed in the description so that you can check out her website, and you will also see the dates of the buy-in. But y'all, I'm really excited about opening these up. All of her stones come in an acrylic case like this, and this is actually the ice chipper case where 4 stones come in, or 4 ice picks come, or ice chips. All right, so we're going to look at all of these stones, and y'all, these are gorgeous. I actually waited to unveil these stones, and I didn't open them up to actually look at them, but just looking at them in the container, they already look amazing. So let's see. And of course, for those of you who don't know, SS6, they hold a special place in my heart. And so she sent me 3 different colors in SS6 of the new stones to test out. So let's see what we have first. So we have blue steel, and this is what blue steel looks like. Looks like it's one of the metallic stones. Looks very pretty. I don't know if you guys have ever kind of heard of like midnight blue, but this is blue steel, and it is gorgeous. Along the lines of if you've ever tried her Orem Dorado or Labrador or Jet Hematite, that's what I get from this. Next, we have icicles, and I can already tell that I am going to love this one. Look how that, and this is called icicles. Very, very pretty. So it's blinging. Love this one already, and I haven't even used it yet. And all of the stones that I'm showing you right now, these are SS10. So when she told me that she was going to have rose gold, I love rose gold. I was so excited. And when the stones arrived, they did not disappoint me. And so these are rose gold, and it kind of gives you rose gold. And then if you tilt it a certain way, you might get copper from it. But these are absolutely gorgeous. So for the next set, these are the new opal collection, and I think these kind of remind me of pastel colors, and so I'm really excited about that, because you get the pastel look but with bling. So this is, I should have looked at it first, pink. So this is called Pink Opal. And it's very pretty. Kind of looks like a very, very light pink, but you definitely see why it's called Pink Opal. The pastel, and I think this is going to be perfect for the design that we have. These colors are going to be perfect. And this is white opal. Because of the adhesive on the back, it's gray, but as you move it around and once you kind of like isolate it from that sea of gray adhesive, you see the color in it. And that's white opal. All right, so the next color we have is green opal. And I really didn't have to turn that around to see what it said, because you can see the green, and it is a very nice. These colors are perfect for spring. And you can see how they shine. Very, very soft, but they shine very nicely. All right, and here we have, what do you guys think this is? Blue opal. So let's open this, and this is like a baby blue color, but absolutely gorgeous. All right, so let's see what we have next. So these are the stones in SS6, and I didn't show this color in SS10. I do have it in SS10, but this is the Violet Volcano, and we showed it about a week and a half ago, but we only had we only showed the SS10, but I do have the SS6. And when you're opening these stones, you have to be very careful if you get any of the ice chips or ice picks. But y'all, look at that. Look at that purple. It's called Purple Volcano. And there's like several different shades of purple in this. And sometimes when you kind of turn it, you might get like a dark blue, and then you'll get all purple. These are gorgeous. I love this mix. All right, and we saw these in the SS10. This is the rose gold, which I love it. And this is the white opal. So I love the opal collection. I can't wait to see how this is going to look on the shirt that we make today. But I think my favorites for right now, and I haven't even had a chance to use them yet, would be the icicles and this rose gold. I can't wait to use that. But I love all the other colors, and I want to see how they look as well. So I'm going to have to figure out how to use these. So let's get started. We are going to be using only the new colors that the baby's booty will be releasing. Let's get started with brushing in our stones. All right, let's see if we can make this look how we would like. So for the outline, I'm going to use the icicles, and I usually like to use like very blingy stones when I have an outline. So let's see how this is going to look today. We're going to brush this in. I'm using an edge brush. You know, look how beautiful those are. I'm going to be using an edge brush today, and I got this from Heat Transfer Warehouse, but you can find this either on their website. I have a link listed below, or you can go to your local hardware store and grab you one or two. So to get your stones in, it's best to kind of just go in circular motions. That will definitely get your stones in the holes. Now that all the stones are brushed in for this part of the template, we are just going to use a piece of Hotfix transfer mask, and this is KTM mask. A link will be listed below in the description. This can be very sticky, but you always want to be careful how you place it and how you hold it, because it can attract the stones to leap off of the flock and onto the transfer mask. So you want to kind of make sure you commit to it, and you just want to bend it like a taco and just place it down. And I'm just going to use my hands to kind of help to make sure that each one of those stones are in contact with the sticky mask. Uh-oh, we had one that jumped out of place right there. And so I am just going to move that in. All right, and so we are going to get ready to brush the other parts of the template. So now it's time to press our shirt, and of course you want to lint roll your shirt. I am going to pre-press your shirt for about 5 to 7 seconds just to get out any moisture. Now I'm ready to start placing our transfers, our rhinestone transfers, onto the shirts so that we can get everything layered, and I already think it's going to be beautiful. I love this icicles color. Now I did not place any parchment paper or butcher paper in between the shirt, but you may want to do that because at times that adhesive can go through depending on how thin or thick your shirt is, and glue your shirt together. Now if you unglue it or if you separate it quickly after removing it from under the press, you should be fine, but you do want to note that when pressing Hotfix rhinestones or anything that has adhesive on the backing. Alright, so now I'm just layering these and it's already looking really good. I really like these pastel colors. I think that they really are perfect for spring. I can see some Easter designs with these. I can see some Easter bunnies or Easter eggs, and I just think that it's going to look absolutely cute using these colors. Now everything's coming together, and I am just layering those, and I'm trying to layer them in with as little presses as possible, and everything seems to be working out pretty well. So we're all done, and it looks amazing. You may want to just flip that shirt over on the back and give it a press on the back just to, you know, be secure, make sure everything applied the way that it should. But y'all, look how this looks. This looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the blend of these opal stones. They look so pretty, and I'm excited to try them more for more spring designs. All right, y'all, so we are all done with making our bling shirt, uploading it, and getting it all cut out and checking out these new colors. And I absolutely love these colors. Make sure to check out the Baby's Booties website. It will be linked below so that you will know when the sale will begin. But I love how these turned out. Everything looks great. Most importantly, make sure when you are purchasing design files and templates for use with Hotfix rhinestones, it's very different than if you're purchasing an SVG or PNG to be used with vinyl. With this particular type of project, you have to size it exactly as what the designer set those dimensions to be. If not, you are going to waste flock, and y'all, flock is too expensive and too hard to find for us to be messing it up. Alright, so if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up. Also, make sure to hit the subscribe button if you are not already a subscriber. And head over to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and join Craftable Things there as well. But that's going to be it for today, y'all. Thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time.